Hey folks, Sylvius here. Soon I'll be finishing up with my Let's Play on Now Boarding, so I was excited about playing this for various reasons, so I figured I'd hop into the next game I'll be doing in that miscellaneous category. So this is Game Dev Tycoon by Greenheart Games. It's a pretty solid game. It's on Steam. It's not super expensive. I honestly don't remember how much it was. You'll see that I'm kind of already in the game. And there is an actual reason for that. It's because, as far as I can tell, this game doesn't have a loading menu. When you start the game up, it kind of takes you straight into the game. So I'm here. I'll be hitting new, and we'll go through the process. But yeah, I just wanted to explain that. All right. You'll notice the text is filling up. If you click, it goes faster. Welcome to Game Dev Tycoon. In this business simulation, you have been transported back in time to start your very own game development company right at the beginning of the PC revolution. In the next 35 years, you can build your dream company, create best-selling games, gain fans, and become the leader of the market. Bam. Before you can start your adventure, you have to give your upcoming company a name. I'm going to name my company... Good question. What should I name my company? I'm torn. Let's go with subscribe, please. Subscribe, please. And my name will be Sylvius. You could switch genders at this point. I'll stick with a dude. You can choose different hair. I'm gonna go with orange. And I'll give myself the sweater. There we go. Now this is a unlock hint. Since you have played the game before, you can choose to use all the previous game hints in this new game. I'm going to say no. They're going to make me do this. It also is interesting. It tells me how long I have and stuff like that, but yeah. Okay, so at this point, we're here. This is the game. Technically, time is going, and I don't want the... We have a, 0 fans, year 1, month 1, week 2. So I let a week go by. I don't want to be here forever. Anyway, right now my development studio is, as you can see, my dude's garage. So my only option here is to either hit that or I can hit escape, which brings me up to this, but, you know, you see how this works. So we're just going to immediately develop a new game. Before I name my game, actually, you see we've got 3 options in next. You pick a topic. I have these topics. The topics that they give you are actually random, I believe, largely. I think that's how that works. I also have pick a genre, action, adventure, RPG, simulation. There is... I have a wiki up on my computer next to it, and you definitely want to keep a wiki up on your computer, on another computer, or Alt-Tab. There is a 6th genre that you have to research called casual type games. And if we go back, we have a platform where I can either... this is the Commodore 64, but it's the G64 or the PC. While we're here, you see we've got a development cost price and how much of the market share and genre match. The genre match includes those hints that I turned off. Generally speaking, the PC and the G64 are basically very similar to each other, we'll say. But when you start unlocking the other systems, so the next system that I could develop for would be the original Nintendo Entertainment System, called the TES in this game. So, for example, the TES is good for casual style games, whereas the PC is really bad for casual style games. The PC is really good for simulation and strategy type games, where the TES is average for simulation, but relatively negative for strategy type games. This is why you're going to want to keep a wiki up, or at least know what you're doing. Furthermore, as we go back to genre real quick, the 6 things are action, adventure, RPG, simulation, strategy, and casual type games. For now, you should, generally speaking, there is a aspect of this game where certain types of games require more expertise in a certain category, I guess I should say. just throwing this out there. I haven't played this game in a while, so my memory is a little bit vague. As you can see, my last save files were 2 years ago. Generally speaking, though, your people can either be really technical or really creative. It would be the two aspects of things. And certain types of games require more of one or than the other. So, for example, the games that require the most like technical skill are action games, like which would basically be like Call of Duty type things. The games that require the most creativity would be adventure games that are like story driven and stuff like that. So adventure, casual, and RPG style games are your more creative style ones, whereas action, strategy, and simulation are your more technical style games. When you hire people and you raise their skills, you're going to be raising their skills in essentially one of those two directions. You could have balanced people who are, middle of the road kind of thing. But for best results, you do kind of want to focus. Like Activision Blizzard makes the, Activision, and Treyarch, and I don't remember the other one that makes the Call of Duty games. But like those guys make your Call of Duty games, and they would probably make for a poor adventure game, at least that specific studio. Vice versa and stuff like that. So however you want to go about doing that, you should probably focus on one, technical or creative. It's actually design up here now that I'm seeing it. Focus on one of them, and then try to make games to it. It kills me a little bit inside because I think my personal favorite types of games would be strategy games and then RPGs, and those are on opposite sides of the spectrum. And I can't do both because I wish my development studio could make both. I'm probably going to go with the technical aspect for this playthrough. But anyway, so we're going to pick our topic. You can see I've got my 4 topics: UFO, time travel, game dev, and ninja. All of those have various degrees of effectiveness in various, genres. Right. So I'm looking on the wiki right here, and it says UFO is good for action-style games. It's average for adventure-style games. It's very bad for RPGs. It's average for simulation. It's very good for strategy. And it's okay for casual. So that generally means that a UFO-style game would be good for either action-adventure or strategy games, so it's more of a technical one. Time travel, I'm seeing here, is a little bit above average for action, but is very good for adventure and very good for RPG, and then below average for simulation and casual, and very bad for strategy. So time travel falls on the opposite end of that spectrum, where it's better for a design-focused team, and so on. I'm just going to go with UFO because it's the first on the list. So, I picked UFO as my genre. I'm sorry, I picked UFO as my topic. Now I get to pick a genre. Again, as I said, UFO is really good for strategy, and it's also really good for action type games. Now we got to go and see which one of those are good for either the PC or the G64. And in this case, the G64 and PC are basically identical to each other with very minor variations. Both of them are above average in action, but both of them are good in strategy. Like the best in strategy. Excellent in strategy. And as I said already, this is a good strategy game, so we're going to go with strategy. At this point, we pick our platform. Generally speaking, you would want to go with whichever one has the best market share in this situation. Under normal circumstances, obviously, you would go with whichever one is the genre works better with. But right now, money is also a situation. You'll see I have 70K up there. 5K versus 20K. I'm still going to go with the G64. And now we get to name our game. I'm going to name my game... I was going to call it XCOM because that's basically what I'm making right now. But I'm going to be a loser and call it ZCOM. Bam. So now we get to go through this, and all this costs additional money. You do not have an option of not picking graphics. So additional money for text-based or 2D version 1 graphics. I'm going to go with the best I can. So now we start developing the game. Now, before I talk about this, and I can't move it, you saw the little bubbles popping out of my head? they're going into the design and tech things. Strategy games require more tech, so I obviously would want my tech number to be like 10 versus 3 or something like that. By the way, we're now in the development stages. So again, I'm trying like desperately to remember this. Desperately to remember this, and we'll see how well this goes. So the wiki has a little chart here. I'm making a strategy game, and it's telling me how I want to go about doing this. The wiki is telling me that for a strategy game, I should have engine at about like average, gameplay high, and story and quest low. Actually, it says it should be about average. We'll put it like this. So, generally speaking, this is kind of how you want to follow it. So we'll develop it in that sense. You'll also see that bugs can be put in when I'm doing it. I'm apparently not very technically minded myself, which is a shame. Bugs are in the game. We also just got charged $8K for monthly costs, too. I guess that's my mortgage and my bills. But anyway. Bugs are naturally put into the game as you produce it. When the game is finished being developed, you can release it right away, bugs included, which will lower your reviews, or you can spend time getting rid of the bugs. The other thing we have up here is research. Research is used for researching things. We'll get into it more later on. Anyway, stage 2, we're going between dialogue, level design, and AI. Wiki tells me that dialogue is very unimportant, so we're going to put that all the way at the bottom. Wiki's telling me that level design is very important and that artificial intelligence is moderately important. So we're going to kind of put it like this. Seems like my guy's a little bit more design oriented than he is. No, tech caught up. Alright, and then we're at development stage 3. At this point, we're also putting our graphics actually in, and we're putting our sound in at this point too. I could take sound out, which would negatively impact the quality of my stuff. And the other development stages also could have had this. If they had any additional features, they could have been tacked in at that point too. And Wiki's telling me that for this, graphics aren't super important, world design is very important, and sound is moderately important. So we're going to run it kind of, I'm going to lower that a little bit more. And lower that a little bit. And we're going to roll it like that. So you can see up here, like, literally what's happening here. And now I could hit finish, or I'm going to let him clear the bugs. Generally speaking, let them clear the bugs, unless you really need to get the game out for some reason. Furthermore, while you're getting rid of the bugs, you'll keep getting potential additional design and tech points, and also additional research. And now we gain experience points. Can I rename this while I'm here? Oh, I can rename it while I'm here. That's cool. So all of my stuff got various experience points. The experience points gained are largely based over how I ran the sliders and stuff like that, which is why gameplay, level design, and world design were the highest. We could trash it if we wanted to. We don't. And we also got bonus EXP for using a new topic and a new combo. So we're going to release the game. Now we got some additional options now. We have research and we have game history, develop new game, and generate game report. This is just game history. It has a list of all of my games and it'll tell you the stuff, but we don't have that. None of this stuff is in yet. So we're going to go back. Research would be the research things. I could pick a new topic and it only has the next 4 unlocked. So if I wanted to see what this one is, I'd have to research one of these 4. I could also custom game engine, which is probably something you want to do when you have the chance. But for now, you know, I don't have it yet. And then the other thing we can do here is generate a game report, where you click on a game that you haven't done this before and you kind of like research it and, you know, analyze it. The first reviews for our newly released game, ZCOM, came in. Higher is better. Wow. I'm honestly surprised. Their focus on gameplay served this game very well, from Star Games. Strategy games work well on the G64, informed gamer. Nice experience from Game Hero. Love it from All Games. Also, a lot of these, like Informed Gamer is Game Informer, the magazine and things like that. The game is quite pun heavy. Subscribe Please, a newcomer in the game industry, has just released their first game, ZCOM. The game received favorable reviews. With such a good start, Subscribe Please are sure to gain fans quickly. So now we're doing our little stuff. We've got our sales units over here. ZCOM sold 5,323 units in the first week on the market. We've made it into the charts at 21. I also started getting fans. So ZCOM was so successful that we now have 24 fans. Woo! So doing the reports gets you research, but our post-report analysis of ZCOM is complete, and we got the following results. UFO and strategy is a great combination. Artificial intelligence seems to be quite important for this type of game. And that's all you get. So now I could do some research. Researching does take time, or we can just develop a new game. I'm going to develop a new game. So we did UFO last time. Generally speaking, you should not use the same topic and the same genre combination in a row. You could use the same topic and a different genre, or the same genre and a different topic. Just not the same thing, or you'll take a big penalty. I like to just go through my list, though, so let's see what UFO has again. UFO is good for action, and UFO is good for strategy. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, time travel. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Alright, time travel is good for RPG and adventure. Let's take a look and see which one of those is good on the PC. Okay, so adventure is good on both of those. Luckily, at this point, I haven't had the opportunity to get specialized, but adventure is the most design-oriented. So, like I said, I haven't had the opportunity for that. And we'll be going back on the G64. Gonna call this Quest, please. Nah, Quest time. Let's go with that. Quest time. Again, 2D graphics because I have no other options. Now, adventure games, I'm going to need to swap these sliders. The game holds your sliders here. So, like, if you were going to just keep making strategy games, you would have to not make any changes, but obviously that's a different situation. So, adventure games need nothing in engine, basically. The gameplay should be relatively low, and story and quest is what it's all about. ZCOM has achieved a company sales records with over 10K units sold. This is an important milestone in the history of Subscribe Please. So anyway, the reason why I decided to play this game was recently I got a new phone. Again, changes here. Adventure games need high dialogues, low AI, and about average level design. So we're going to do it like this. I'll lower that a little bit more. I got a new phone a while back, and I'm looking for some games to play on it, right? And there's a company called Kairosoft, or something like that. When your character scratches their head, they're not doing anything. Just throwing that out there. They're wasting time. An adventure needs world design and average graphics, but not so important on the sounds. For games, like, if you don't need sound, you could potentially use like a cheaper sound option or no sound. I generally don't bother with turning these off because if you turn this off here, when you come into your next game, it will still be off, and I very often forget to turn those back on. Anyway, so I got this Kairosoft game, and Kairosoft makes a Game Dev Tycoon too. It's not as good as this one. And I have no bugs, so let's just hit finish. Okay, it did hit finish. So I got a game on Kairosoft called Anime Dev Tycoon, which was basically just a reskin of their Game Dev Tycoon, but they took a lot of things out of it and made it like a dumbed-down version. And more importantly, their Game Dev Tycoon was not as good as this Game Dev Tycoon in the first place. So playing the anime thing and being disappointed, I was like, you know what, I want to play this. So again, you see we got our experience points, and my character himself is also leveling up. So off we go. Release the game. I finished that right at the same time my last one was off. ZCOM is now off the market. It sold 24,718 units, generating $173,068, which was not bad. Not bad at all. So we're going to generate our game report, quest time. The first reviews of our newly released game, Quest Time, came in. Wow, I'm doing pretty good. Time travel and adventure is a great combination. Star Games. Very good. Informed gamer. A 9. Wow. Great game. Game hero. Wow. Yeah. Played it for days. All games. Generally speaking, you don't normally score that high. I mean, obviously I'm just following the wiki's direction at this point, but still. You generally don't score that high. Our post-release analysis of Quest Time is complete, and we got the following results. Time travel and adventure is a great combo. Story quest seems to be very important for this type of game. Because I'm looking at the wiki, we're only going to be making, like, the best combinations. Game dev. What a weird type of video game. Who plays game dev style video games? You know what I'm saying? Like, who would ever think about playing a game that's about making games? Anyway, game dev is horrible in action, pretty bad in adventure, horrible in RPG, fantastic in simulations type games, though. It's a great simulation type game. Horrible in strategy, and is around average in casual. Guess which one I'm going with? Yeah, simulation. And again, we're going to be playing it for that, and I'm going to call my game Game Maker Unlimited. We're going to go with 2D graphics again. Recent market studies suggest that the Gavador G64 is steadily outselling competitors in the PC sector. Consumers prefer the lower price, greater availability, and flexible hardware configurations over other home computers. Experts say that this might spell the end of competing hardware manufacturers. One thing that's really cool about this game, by the way, as we're back at this screen, and again, I'm using simulation now, so that's slightly different than strategy, and much different than adventure. So simulation games are medium to good engine, high gameplay, and average story and quests. So we're going to run it like this. Anyway, this game is interesting in that it actually, if you kind of consider the time frame of things, it does follow the actual development of like the video game like market and economy pretty well. You'll actually learn some interesting things about, like, you know, so right now, like, the Commodore is, you know, outselling the PC market. The people of today know that that's not how that happens, though. Anyway, simulation-type games. Dialogue is highly unimportant. Level design is about average, but AI is super important. I'm going to lower that a little bit more. So you can actually learn some interesting stuff from this game. It is a fun experience, and my character's just scratching his head again, making no progress and wasting time. And finally, we're at stage 3. Simulation games need high graphics, okay sound, but world design is not all that important. So we're gonna roll it like that. It'd be cool if I could get this game out while the other one's still up and running, but that's not gonna happen. Get those bugs out of there. According to the rumors, the Japanese company Ninvento is planning to launch its very own home gaming console. Ninvento is known for the widely successful arcade game Donkey King. Many industry experts doubt that home gaming consoles will take off, but we're eager to see what Ninvento can deliver. A huge part of me wants to just call it Nintendo, call it the Commodore 64, and so on. Quest Time is now off the market. It sold 30,884 units, generating $216,216. That's kind of awesome. That's kind of awesome. All right. Game Maker Unlimited is ready. Oop, leveled up gameplay. It doesn't actually look like I did, but I apparently did. Leveled up world design too. Release game. Now we could, the first reviews of our newly released game, Game Maker Unlimited, came in. 7. Good game. Ooh, shows potential. I'm falling apart. Enjoyable. Yeah, this was not as good as my, wow, on a 5. Fun at stages. Yeah, I mean, that's not good. Let's generate our game report. And also, while we're at it, let's look at my game history. Average score of 7.5, units sold 24.7, cost, income, total profit, release date, how many fans it got me. You can see quite a bit of information. That 6.25 is quite bad compared to my 8.25 prior. I'm really bad at making game dev games. Hi there, I've just finished Game Maker Unlimited and I'm impressed by your talent. I'm in the contracting business and we could use skills like yours. If you're ever short of cash, let me know and I will see if we have some work for you. Jason. So this is contracting type work. I'll showcase it once he finishes here. Our post-release analysis, yeah. Game dev and simulation are important. Platform genre match, G64 simulation is good. Graphics seems to be very important. Alright. We can find contract work. This is how contract work works. To do this, I need to give 1 design bubble and 9 tech bubble. The pay would be $11K. If you don't complete it in the 3 weeks, you would take a penalty of $4K. This one's 11 and 4, 5 weeks. 9 and 10, 5 weeks, but higher pay. Generally, you're better off making another game. It's going to get you more money and stuff like that. These do get you research points. That's one thing that these do for you. But you're better off always making a game because it will get you more money and it will also get you fans. And contracts won't do that. But if you're low on money or like you desperately need a single research point or something like that, I guess you could do it that way. So I'm going to research custom game engine here. We've got a bar filling up. Is that? Okay, yeah, that does just bring up the menu. That's what I figured it did. I just want to make sure. Today, Ninvento has confirmed recent rumors and announced their plans to release a new home gaming console called TES early next year. The console features cartridge-based games and a uniquely designed controller. Oh, snap. You successfully researched custom game engine. New research available. Game tutorials. Can I research custom game tutorials? Awesome. So yeah, this will take 15 research points, which I have, and it'll also take 40K, which I have. So we're going to do that research. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my custom game engine, and then I'm going to make 1 game with my custom game engine, and then that'll be the end of this first video of this game. You've successfully researched game tutorials. Alright. Create custom engine. We get to name these guys. We'll do it later, though. So you get to pick your graphics that this takes. The games I've been making have had version 2 graphics, so we're going to take that. And as you can see, this is increasing the cost. We're going to take linear story, and we're going to take save game files, and we're going to take game tutorials, and we're going to throw them all in there. If you know that you're going to be focusing exclusively on simulation type games, alright? Well, let's not use simulation type games as an example, because it's a bad example. Let's say you know you're going to use exclusively action type games. Action type games do not need really story requests. So you could make an engine that just doesn't have the linear story thing, and it would save you the 30K. In this case, it would be a 25% price reduction. Furthermore, there's nothing here for it, but action-type games also, even more so than story and quests, do not need dialogue. So if there was a dialogue option, you could just skip that entirely. At the moment, though, because I'm not 100% certain what I'm doing, I'm pretty sure I'm leaning towards the technical aspect of things, but not sure. I'm going to throw everything in. Also, since at this early stage, without really being focused, I can still do whatever I want. And I got to name my game engine. You don't have to name them. I prefer to. It makes me feel a little bit special about myself. Yeah. Let's see. What do I call it? We're going to call this the Please Like So it takes Game Maker's Unlimited is now off the market. It sold 19,477, bringing in 136,374 in sales. We are going to keep putting tech points into this. This is actually one of the reasons why I do like focusing on tech. It's because it does make this process go faster. You can actually see what we're like actively working on. So we're like introducing the game tutorial right now. And then when that's finished, we'll move on to whatever the next thing. Yeah, linear story and so on. And it's complete. Right? Yeah. Your new game engine, please like, is now completed. Alright. So now we're going to develop a new game. And you can see I have the option to pick engines now. We're going to do Ninja. I'm going to go back to the wiki and look up Ninja and see what Ninja's good at. Ninja's good at action games and casual games. You'll note that neither of those are good for the either of the systems I have, I guess I should say. The PC and the G64, right? Am I scrolling the wrong way? I am all sorts of scrolling the wrong way. Let's scroll up. Oh boy. Where did I like lose this? Ha! I got 2 pages of the wiki open. There we go. They could go on action, but I'm actually going to. I could just do another UFO game. Hold on. Let's go into game history. ZCOM was UFO strategy. I could go UFO simulation, which would be breaking the chain. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Hold on, let's look at our platforms. You'll see that the market share on the G64 has actually gone up a little bit, while the market share on the PC has gone down a little bit. When the TES comes out, it will take a chunk of the market share. Because, you know, percentages always equal 100. That's how that works. I'm actually going to hold off on that, I guess. Instead, I'm going to go with Ninja. I'm going to do an action game. And I'll do it for the G64 since both of those are even. And now I have an option to pick my engine, so I'll pick the Please Like. We're gonna call this game, what is it, Ninjas? I'm not sure if I'm spelling that right. Naruto LOL. That's what we're gonna call this game. So you can see I can now use the version 2 graphics. And we're gonna begin developing. Now this is an action game, so I need to find that little chart. Alright, action needs high engine, relatively high gameplay. There we go. And now I have a whole bunch of things here. Engine is important, so save games we want. Gameplay is relatively important too. We can skip these. In fact, if you put too many things in here, they actually increase the development time. Since story and quest is very unimportant, I'm not going to include it. So we're just going to go on. It'll save me some money, and it'll slow down the development. Today, the new game platform TES by Ninvento has been released. Yay for Ninvento. I so badly want to just call it the Nintendo. Alright. Level design is moderate. Dialogues is very unimportant. Artificial intelligence is right where it needs to be. What was the last thing I made? Oh, it's basically exactly the same as simulation. Except dialogue is even less important than it is for a simulation game. It's interesting that an action game would need less dialogue than a simulation type game. Considering, you know, like Call of Duty does in fact actually have, before I read this, Call of Duty does actually have like voice acting and stuff into it. Well, I guess dialogue also is all this text here too, whatever. Hi, I'm Caroline Richards from the local news. I've heard rumors that you're already working on your next game and would love to do an interview about this. Do you have some time? I've never really hit no time or the negative options, so I'm not sure exactly what happens, but pretty much you should always hit yes. Great, thanks for your time. The interview should be published soon. That was all it was. Graphics are super important, sound is average. World design is unimportant. Literally exactly the same as simulation, except world design is even less important. Nope, they're equally unimportant, but we're just going to leave it like this. Subscribe, please. A local startup is trying to make it big in the gaming industry. The company has already published 3 games and is working hard on their next. In an interview, founder Sylvius said that the next game is going to be a ninja action game, something the company has not done before. It's great to see small local companies enter exciting new industries. All the best of luck to subscribe, please. And now I have hype. Whee! Hype is a double-edged blade. If your game is not good, having high hype can make the sales even worse. New record. Surprised that's a new record, but that isn't. We leveled up our engine, we leveled up our stories and quests, our dialogue, our level design, our artificial intelligence, our graphics. Not our specific graphic engine, though. Our sound and ourselves. Release game. New research available. Mono sound. I am going to soon end this video, but first reviews. The mono sound, if I research it right now, quirky but good. That's unfortunate that my reviews are still bad. Good game. I won't be able to use mono sound until I make an engine capable of using it. So just keep that in mind. Good game, shows potential, I like it. Part of the review scoring for your games is kind of based off of your last couple of games. So the idea is that you're supposed to be making games that are progressively better than the ones you've made previously. Yeah, same things. I'm going to research a new topic. And I'm going to take military, because that sounds like fun. So yeah, the general idea is that Game 2 is supposed to be better than Game 1, Game 3 is supposed to be better than Game 2 and 1, and so on. So sometimes you can kind of get at a situation where I'm currently in. Wow, it's annoying that he just scratched his head twice. It's also annoying that I'm currently scratching my head also. You can kind of get to a situation where I'm currently in, where Games 2 and 3 were abnormally above average and got higher reviews. And now my later games, Games 4 and 5, are only slightly better than their predecessor games, so they're getting bad reviews. Anyway, folks, that was that. I'm actually going to do this. So yeah, that was a Game Dev Tycoon. I'll be continuing this one like I have been with all the other non-main games I've been doing. So that's it for now. Like, favorite, comment, subscribe, and check me out on Patreon, Twitter, and Facebook. I will see you folks later.